What is FERPA? What is the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act? What do you need to know about this law? This presentation will step you through what information you can and cannot share about your students, and we'll look at a couple of scenarios that you might experience in your particular instructional setting. So FERPA is the law that restricts access to students' educational records. Students themselves, first of all, must be permitted access to and be able to control the disclosure of their educational records. It also tells what we can and cannot disclose with respect to personally identifiable information about students to third parties without the written permission of the student themselves. We'll talk about who those third parties are and what that type of information is in just a moment. We can, however, disclose directory information without the consent of the student, unless the student has submitted a non-disclosure request, which will be noted in your class roll. Now, what that directory information is, we will talk about in a second as well. So, directory information. This is what can be disclosed without a student's permission. This is their name and mailing address. It might even be where they live, their email address and phone, when they were admitted to USC, their graduation date, their major, the degree they're getting, activities that they participate in that are USC related. This is information that, as you look at that list, is information that is personal to you, but this is information that can be disclosed without the student's permission, with an exception, which we'll get to. What cannot be disclosed and is protected by law is student ID numbers. Even partial numbers cannot be disclosed. Student biographical information such as their gender, their nationality, ethnicity, photographs cannot be displayed publicly or disclosed without the student's permission. Grades of any kind, if it's identifiable by their name or by their ID number, cannot be given out or shared. Graded assignments or exams cannot be shared, cannot be put or posted into a public place. For example, you cannot post a student's grade if you post it with their last name or with the last four numbers of their ID outside your office door. That is protected information. You cannot put a stack of graded exams outside your office door. That is protected information. Student class schedules is protected. You cannot let someone know when a student is in your class or where they are. That is protected by FERPA. Student disabilities. If a student has accommodations that they are granted for your class, you cannot share that with another instructor. That is protected information. Any other kind of academic records, such as financial records, internship records, disciplinary records, all of these are also protected under FERPA law. There are, of course, exceptions to what cannot be disclosed. So if it's directory information, of course, it can be disclosed to the student. So if a student requests that information, you must provide that information to the student. That's part of the law. To school officials whom the institution has determined to have legitimate educational interests. So for example, advisors or administrative assistants in a department or college, someone who may need that information regarding the student's situation, you can disclose it to them. Disclosure to appropriate parties in connection with a health or safety emergency. So for example, USC Police or health services who may need to be able to reach the student. You can disclose that to them. Or another example is the Office of Academic Integrity may ask you about the student. That is a school official who has legitimate educational interests. The exception to non-disclosure is also allowed with the student's signed and dated written consent, specifying what record and to whom that record can be given. So information can be shared if that written consent has been provided. Parents of minors can only access their information of their student if the student has provided written consent or the proof of dependency has been submitted to the registrar, and this is a legal affidavit that has been submitted to the registrar. Otherwise, parents cannot be given access to that protected information, and students are younger than 18 are considered minors. There are other exceptions, of course. There are a list of them, and you can find that information on this website here. And as you can see, there is information about FERPA, what the educational records are, the disclosure, the directory information, without prior consent, and then parental access and how to avoid violations. All of this information is on this website at USC. In any situation, however, it is still at the university's discretion whether or not to make a disclosure. And there are restrictions noted in the class roll. So if a student has said that all of their information, including directory information, must be kept confidential, you will see that in your class roll. And those rolls you can access through my.sc.edu. And when you pull up the roll, the student's name will be there. It will say confidential. And that refers to the FERPA request that all information is kept confidential. This law is powerful enough that it actually overrides the South Carolina Freedom of Information Act, or FOIA. Even if someone submits a FOIA request, FERPA law protects that information of our students. Now, if you're unsure about a situation, always defer to and immediately contact the registrar's office. Easy number to remember, 803-777-5555. And they will take care of the situation and help you with that situation. So let's do some scenarios. These are all scenarios that have happened, may happen, may be someone that you know has this situation happen. So you have a good friend in your department who mentions that one of their students has requested accommodations on an exam due to a learning disability. They want to know what accommodations you granted in your class last semester. Which of the following of these is correct? You offer to check your files and get back to him via email if you did provide accommodations. You refer your friend to the Student Disability Resource Center to have the question answered, and the SDRC is the USC's disability resource for all students, all people at the university. Or you verbally confirm or deny the student received accommodations, and this is a non-email correspondence versus a text correspondence. Which of these is correct? So hopefully you answered B, where you refer your friend to the Student Disability Resource Center to have the question answered. This is protected information. Even if your significant other, it's a good friend, it's a fellow colleague, you cannot share this information. It is protected by law. So send your friend to the Student Disability Resource Center and they can help you with that. Scenario 2. The mother of one of your freshman students calls to ask if her student was in your class the Wednesday before fall break or spring break. She saw on his Instagram that he had been partying. What is your response? Let the parent know if the student was or was not in class. Forward the parent's request to your department chair, or inform the parent that you cannot release such information and refer her to the registrar's office. Hopefully you remember that even though it's the parent, you still cannot release that information of where the student was if they were in your class, attendance records, unless the student has filed consent or the parent has filed the legal affidavit. So you may say, how do I know? What you then do is say, I'm sorry, I cannot give out that information. If you feel that you should be given access, that you have perhaps the legal affidavit on file, you can contact the registrar's office, but I cannot give out that information. These happen on a regular basis. Scenario 3, the father of one of your students emails requesting their student's final grade. What do you do in this situation? Do you forward the parent's request to your department chair? Do you first confirm with the registrar that the email address belongs to the parent? And if so, then you can provide the student grade. Or do you inform the parent that by law, you cannot release such information and you refer them to the registrar's office? So again, hopefully you recognize that even though it's the parent, you cannot share that information. So you must share to the parent that by law you cannot release that information. They will need to contact the registrar to get any type of information. Now, even if they say that their student is a minor, they say that to you, that they are the legal guardian, you still do not provide this information. You should tell them to contact the registrar. It is for your protection, it is for the student's protection. The registrar holds all of this information and can release any information that the parent needs if that information is allowed to be released. So, your responsibilities as a faculty member or instructor or graduate TA or IA. You are responsible for controlling access and protecting the student educational records that you have in possession. So, let's review. All educational records are confidential with the exception of that directory information. You do not provide anyone with student information of any kind, including schedules. So even if a friend of yours is another TA or a fellow colleague says, is this student in your class next section? You cannot provide that information. Decline requests from parents for grades or attendance or other academic matters. This is where the registrar comes in. That is their role, is to control that information. If you post any grades, use Blackboard. That's what it's for. Do not post grades in a public place, any part of their name or ID number for anything. Don't leave graded assignments in a public place. Again, this is protected educational records. Make sure, if you're in the classroom, that you have your laptop open. Make sure your Blackboard access on your computer is protected. Don't leave your laptop with Blackboard open. A student can come and look at another student's grade in your Blackboard course. Keep all confidential papers in file cabinets. If you're getting rid of them after a year or so, make sure you shred that information that has the student's name or identifiable information and their grade. Shred it rather than just trashing it. And all questions about access to official student academic records can always and should be directed to the Office of the Registrar. As said before, they are the ones that control access to educational records of our students. We have available for our instructors a fast FERPA fax info sheet. We are happy to send that to you via PDF, via email. If you have any questions about FERPA or other expectations of educational record privacy, please contact the registrar. Again, their number is 803-777-5555. Thank you.